Have you ever felt like you're just keeping your head above water when learning English? That's the struggle many English learners face when trying to master everyday idioms. But don't worry, today we're going to dive into the meaning and usage of one of the most common idioms. Keep one's head above water. Let me tell you a funny story about a time someone misunderstood this idiom. My friend Sarah was new to English and thought keeping your head above water meant literally swimming to stay afloat. So when her boss asked her to keep her head above water during a busy project, Sarah showed up to the office with a snorkel and swimming goggles. So, what does keep one's head above water actually mean? It's a figurative expression that refers to the ability to manage or cope with a difficult situation, to avoid being overwhelmed or drowning in problems. Let's see how this idiom is used correctly. My friend Alex was juggling a full-time job, a side business, and taking care of his elderly parents. He was feeling overwhelmed, but by prioritizing his tasks and taking regular breaks, he was able to keep his head above water and manage it all. Here are some examples of how you can use keep one's head above water in different contexts. In casual conversation, I'm just trying to keep my head above water with all these deadlines at work. In a formal setting, the company is struggling to keep its head above water in the current economic climate. In a negative context, she's been barely keeping her head above water since losing her job. In a humorous context, my kids are keeping me so busy, I feel like I'm swimming to keep my head above water. In a literary context, the protagonist was determined to keep his head above water and not let the waves of adversity pull him under. In a business setting, the small business owner is working tirelessly to keep their company's head above water during the pandemic. On social media, juggling work, family, and a social life, just trying to keep my head above water over here. To help you remember the meaning of keep one's head above water, think of a visual image of someone treading water, just barely keeping their head above the surface. This mental picture can serve as a useful mnemonic device to recall the idiom's figurative meaning. Now, let's explore some fun facts about this idiom. This idiom reflects the cultural value of resilience and the ability to overcome adversity, which is highly valued in many societies. While keep your head above water is the most common form, you might also hear variations like keep your head above the waves or keep afloat in certain contexts. These variations maintain a similar figurative meaning of managing challenges. Here are some idioms and phrases that are similar to or opposite of keep one's head above water. Similar, tread water, stay afloat, keep your head above the waves. Opposite, sink or swim, drown in problems, go under. These expressions all relate to the idea of managing or struggling with difficult situations, but they may have slightly different nuances or connotations. Let's try using keep one's head above water in a sentence. I'm working overtime to keep my head above water and pay all my bills this month. Without using the idiom, we could rephrase this as, I'm working overtime to manage all my financial obligations and avoid falling behind on payments this month. Here's a real-life story that shows the effective use of keep one's head above water. My coworker, Sarah, was juggling a heavy workload and a family emergency at home. She was feeling overwhelmed, but she told her manager, I'm doing my best to keep my head above water right now. Her manager was understanding and offered additional support, which helped Sarah navigate the challenging situation. Let's address some common mistakes and how to avoid them when using keep one's head above water. Grammatical mistake, saying I'm keeping my head above the water is incorrect. The proper usage is I'm keeping my head above water. Meaning misunderstanding, some people may think keep one's head above water means to simply survive or get by. but it actually implies actively managing a difficult situation. In appropriate context, this idiom is best used when discussing personal or professional challenges, not when talking about literal swimming or water-related activities. Now, let's test your understanding with a few multiple-choice questions. 1. What is the meaning of the idiom, keep one's head above water? A. Literally swim to stay afloat. B. Manage or cope with a difficult situation. C. Avoid drowning in problems. D, B, and C. 2. Which of these expressions is synonymous with keep one's head above water? A. Sink or swim. B. Tread water. C. Go under. D. Drown in problems. 3. Which of these expressions is antonymous to keep one's head above water? A. Stay afloat. B. Keep your head from going under. C. Drown in problems. D, B, and C. In summary, keep one's head above water is a common English idiom that refers to the ability to manage or cope with a difficult situation, to avoid being overwhelmed or drowning in problems. Understanding the meaning and proper usage of this idiom can greatly improve your communication skills in English. So, let's dive in and start using this idiom in our everyday conversations. Now, it's your turn. Share in the comments a time when you've used or heard the idiom, keep one's head above water, in a conversation. Try to come up with your own original sentence using the idiom. And let me know if you have any other questions about its usage. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more English idiom lessons.